Welcome back to Really Ringwood. We've been taking a bit of a break over the last few months, doing some research and looking into a few different topics that have popped up. For example, the purchase of the Pagano property on Skyline Drive, all of the drama with the Board of Education and the superintendent, the new Holiday Observers Club that doesn't really observe holidays, that's sponsoring events at Fieldstone, and more. And while we will have more to say on those topics later this summer and into the fall, a topic that recently came up that really can't wait is the imminent departure of Stop & Shop from Ringwood.
For those of us in town, Stop & Shop has been something of a mixed blessing. On one hand, it is the only supermarket in town, and so all of us have run there for milk, flour, cereal, etc.
Yep, all the time.
But the store was far from perfect. In addition to the limited selection, which honestly is understandable for a store its size, the continued poor quality of the produce and meat in the store made shopping there oftentimes a last resort.
Yeah, but even those who had complaints about the store were grateful that it existed, because sometimes you just need an item or two and you don't want to drive that whole 15 minutes to West Milford or Oakland or Wanacue to get some groceries. But then earlier this month, the imminent closure of Stop & Shop was announced, with lots of fingers being pointed at the corporation, the landlord, and, believe it or not, you and me, the citizens of Ringwood.
Let's start with what we know for sure. On July 12th, a NorthJersey.com article named the Ringwood location, along with locations in Carlstadt, Edison, and others, as stores Stop & Shop will be closing later this year. 4 days later, the landlord for the property, the Azarian Group, posted this press release to their website.
Azarian addresses future of Fieldstone Park Shopping Center amid Stop & Shop's announcement of closing. The Azarian Group, LLC, managers of the Fieldstone Park Shopping Center, addresses the recent announcement made by Stop & Shop that it will be closing 30 of its stores, including the location on 130 Skyline Drive in Ringwood, New Jersey.
We understand the community's concern over the loss of our longtime grocery tenant, said John M. Azarian, CEO of the Azarian Group, LLC. While the decision to close was made solely by the grocery chain at the national level, we are viewing this as an opportunity for positive change in the community. We are now presented with the chance to introduce a different store to the center, one that would operate as brand new and would allow for further pursuit of updated renovations to the center as a whole.
The introduction of a new anchor tenant will spearhead the center's revitalization. A fresh retail concept will not only attract more foot traffic, but will also draw complementary businesses to the center and provide more diverse shopping and service options. Furthermore, change in regards to renovation is already underway at the property. It has been confirmed that Dollar General has committed to do a renovation of the store, which will start in September of 2024.
The Azarian Group is actively exploring a range of options to fill the space after Stop & Shop officially vacates. Efforts are being made immediately to fill the space as soon as possible with a use that will benefit the town. Meanwhile, Azarian's property management division is putting in additional immediate efforts to beautify the property, which include pothole repairs, landscaping, and miscellaneous physical updates throughout the center. Updates that are in process right now include a septic system replacement and extensive roof repairs.
The Azarian Group is committed to engaging with the community and borough officials in a positive manner throughout the continued revitalization process. The Azarian Group appreciates the community's patience during this transformative time and looks forward to unveiling a brighter, long-term future for Fieldstone Park Shopping Center and for the community.
On the surface, this press release should be celebrated as good news. Azarian is committing to do things that have been needed at Fieldstone for decades now. Beautification, a new septic, fixing the parking lot, etc. These are all good things that Fieldstone not only has needed, but the citizens and taxpayers of this town deserve.
Yeah, but there's a natural question this begs. Why now? Why is it only after their anchor store announces its departure that all of a sudden there's a cry for making Fieldstone not only suitable for a post-apocalyptic setting or a strip mall out of the late 1990s?
Well, there has been a lot of conjecture about that very question. Some claim that keeping the parking lot full of holes and the storefronts empty were all an attempt to essentially bottom out the center and force redevelopment. A commenter on Facebook revealed how the loss of an anchor store might impact Azarian's ability to get certain loans or may impact the leases with other tenants due to there being clauses guaranteeing an anchor store. So maybe this is finally affecting the bottom line, and that is why the change is coming now.
Here's another commenter on Facebook, citing inside knowledge. This person said that someone at Stop & Shop Corporate cited the landlord and raising rent as a reason to shut down. Azarian's statement said that the decision was solely made at the corporate level, which technically is true, but if the landlord was making life difficult, it isn't surprising that Stop & Shop is walking away.
Since this was announced, from Borough Hall there have been multiple calls for unity and to not, quote, make this political. And while those are lovely sentiments, this is a political issue. While homeowners in town must cut their grass due to an ordinance to keep their homes looking up to a certain standard, no such ordinance exists for business owners in town, which has directly led to Azarian cutting corners on Fieldstone. If there were penalties for empty storefronts, which many municipalities enforce, the Video MD sign would not still be hanging unused for years.
These are not things that the average taxpayer in town could impact, but it is something that our town's government could have enacted at any point over the past 2 decades. And as they say, Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes, but there were multiple opportunities to encourage Azarian to do better, and all of them were missed.
But more than that, this is a political issue because the politicians in town are using it to shape their own narrative. And it is you, the average denizen of Ringwood, that is being made into a political pawn. Councilwoman Michelle Kerr posted on multiple community pages on Facebook the following message. What we really need to do is to come together as a community. If we don't shop local, then our local businesses suffer. Before shopping/eating out of town or online, look at our local businesses first. Help us help each other.
To turn this around on the citizens of Ringwood is absurd. First of all, no one should have to suffer through a bad shopping experience just because a business is in town. People who complained about Stop and Shop were often complaining because of product that, if consumed, could have made them or their family ill. Many of us had brought produce full of mold, milk that went bad before the sell-by date, or meat that had turned, and we should not have to put up with that.
But more than that, to place the blame at the feet of the people who did not have an opportunity to make changes that could have helped the situation when you are a person who could have advocated for such change is absurd. It shows no respect for the constituents of the town and takes zero responsibility for the council's actions.
Now, in Councilwoman Kerr's defense, this was an issue long before her 2022 election, but she is still representing the council in her public statements. She could have said something instead like, "We will try to do better in the future." But instead, she chose to point the finger at innocent residents.
Now, the next Borough Council meeting is on August 20th, and if this issue feels important and relevant to you, we suggest you attend and ask questions and make your voice heard. This development affects us all, and we should all have a say in what happens in our town.